broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys, I'm back!
You are
we have
back.
an imposter!
I'm back! There has been imposters here. No, nobody's been kind of saying they were me since I've been gone. Hi, guys! We're back here doing your favorite after show, my favorite after show, for our favorite show, and your favorite show as well. Reign, I can't believe we're on episode 6 already.
Yes,
3
done by so
queens.
fast.
You've missed all of the October, so, you know.
Well, I mean,
am
a queen in 2 games.
You guys, I am so sorry. I missed October. I'll tweet a picture of it, actually. I've been working at Halloween Horror Nights, and we work on Thursday nights, unfortunately. But I wore my Halloween costume because I didn't get to wear it last week.
Good, bring it back.
I'm either a cat or Ariana Grande. I don't really know.
Very Castle inspired.
One and the same.
All right,
Yeah.
3 queens.
But wait, we have to introduce you guys. Who's here? What?
We have JB Zimmerman.
JB Zimmerman,
do. Thank you.
Mr.
Phil
Phil
Svitek.
Svitek.
See, they know us. They don't need an introduction.
Hi
We've
guys,
been
I'm
here.
Keetin
We've
Marchi.
been here.
If you forgot who I was.
Welcome back.
What's up? It's so nice to be back.
Yeah.
I really missed you guys.
All right, let's take the opportunity. What did you think of the last few episodes, and I'll also
Quick
tie in some
recap, for sure.
fan comments because a lot of fans have written in amazing comments. So I'll tie those in after your impressions of what 4 episodes.
4 episodes. I've honestly, I think this season is great. I think they're coming out with even better than like the first season came out with, and I don't know. You guys, as much as I love Catherine, and this episode made me, I love Megan Fallow so much, but Narcisse, he's getting to me a little bit, like in a warm and weird fuzzy way that I wish would go away. Like I can kind of feel Lola. So, I don't know. It's been so good, and I love the dynamic right now between Francis and Mary, and I love, there's not very many kind of love triangles that we're dealing with this season. Like last season was so many different love triangles, young love, nobody was kind of connected officially, and so it's been fun to kind of see where these different storylines are going and what kind of struggles they're bringing in these episodes for this season, and they seem real, they seem realistic, which I like.
A lot of people last week wrote for the fact of that if the maid had been pretending to be King Henry, why she growled at Kenna. But I think it was people knew about Kenna and the King.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But everyone knew.
I go?
I just think people are naturally catty towards Kenna because she's beautiful.
Like that's what she did. Like it was
exactly.
It was a creepy poltergeist growl. I'm used to growling at people because I was working at Horror Nights.
Nailed it though.
Right?
Very impressive.
Right on. And obviously the holy war between Protestants and Catholics, they think that the fact that was very evident in the time, they like that aspect of it as well. So that's what the fans have to say.
I've been watching this PBS miniseries it's called like Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen or something. It won a lot of awards, but it's so interesting to kind of see that side of the story being played out when I feel like I've researched so much on Mary's side of the story, and this is kind of a historical fiction version of her story. So I was so excited. I know Phil thinks Phil thinks this is all factual, so just let it play along.
It's a historically accurate show.
Yes, it is.
I'm pretty sure.
It's actually a documentary.
Yeah, it is. It's
a documentary.
It's a miniseries.
They had cameras back then.
They did have cameras.
It's found
back then.
footage. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Found.
That's why it's so great. I mean, it's so revolutionary.
Yeah, HD back then.
It was beautiful. I mean, they were so pretty too. Everybody who was back then, like all had good teeth, and
The hygiene, really top notch.
Looking
everywhere.
great.
Well, the royal families, obviously.
Oh goodness, you guys, should we get into this episode?
What?
We
Okay,
should.
wait, before we do, I need to give it, I'm sorry, it feels like, God, we invite Keetin back and she is just shouting out to people. I need to give a shout out to Samantha Marcotte or Marcotte, I don't know. She tweeted at us and she
Team
made
Francis.
these awesome Team Francis t-shirts. I love it. She had some great quotes from Francis. She said she'd make us t-shirts if we let her know our sizes and address. So, Samantha, we might take you up on that offer, and then we'd have to wear them on the show. So I
know
hope
what?
you're okay with that.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate. You know what? I'm Team Bash.
You are
just
Team
because I like Mary and Francis together, and I love Kenna and Bash together, doesn't mean I'm Team Francis.
I want a Team Catherine shirt. Can you make a Team Catherine shirt?
Catherine.
Because she is that, like, I don't know. She is amazing. I
I'm
love
Team
her.
Narcisse.
Team
He is
Narcisse,
an
whoa.
evil man, but I love him.
I am
Sexy
definitely
man. What are you? Are you're
Not Team Narcisse, that's for sure.
What?
I'm Team Royal Bros.
I know you are. Can you make? Okay, so we need a Team Royal Bros.
What is that? What is that?
That's
Was that
Francis
Lathe?
and no, it's
No,
Francis,
Francis and Bash, like getting
Just-
along, being brothers,
Can't
like
Lathe
and
be
he's
throwing
in that?
out, like
running,
what?
running the castle.
Can't Lathe be part of that?
He's
a third
he
bro.
can be a royal bro.
But he's not-
We
he's
can-
not really
no,
bad
We
blood.
can.
All
True.
right, fair enough.
All right.
Maybe if he proves
Vote
himself a
below
little bit,
who-
he can get up to royal bro status.
I want to know all the teams.
I want a Team
sure.
Catherine shirt. I like Team Royal Bros. You want Bash? That makes
No,
sense.
I'm going with the bros. Part of the
Nice.
bros.
You want
Nice,
Team
yeah.
Bro? Okay. I don't know.
I'm a
I
medium,
think
by the way.
we could
Size.
almost make a hashtag for Mary and Catherine after this episode because they played an awesome mother and daughter team, and Phil said, I think you said it best when like the episode was about halfway through. You're like, this is just a fun episode.
It is. You know what? And they managed to move plot really well towards the end
They did.
with England and all of that. But just in general, you got their dynamic. We haven't seen it in a while, and this is something we totally didn't see it in the role play. And her saying, "Oh, my daughter will have to work for the two of us." It was just fun, but
Classic
it also
Catherine. Best.
Well, she also did eventually care.
No, she did turn, and I was worried it was gonna kind of be a filler episode, but it really they came through with a lot of unexpected little things that like that we noticed. Catherine sort of took a turn for the positive. Like we haven't really seen that side of Catherine that much, being like a real human being and a real mom, kind of
Well, I mean,
a mother-in-law.
I think
if you will.
we're getting, I know, a mother-in-law. She wasn't, for the first time, well, she was a little bit of a monster-in-law because Catherine will always be
True.
a monster-in-law. But it's so funny. I don't feel like she ever, like even in those conversations where she was like literally giving Mary like good advice and trying to be as nice as possible, she was still being kind of very bitchy and being like, you just need to get over it, girl. Like you gotta protect yourself, whatever. So even though it was good advice, I would have not thought Catherine changed at all this episode unless we had seen that scene when she kind of takes Francis aside and kind of scolds him a little bit of like, you need to go to your wife right now. You need to understand like what she is going through and make sure that doesn't happen. And it was just like, gosh, Catherine, like this whole time you've been fighting this, kind of their relationship and the type of marriage they want to have and like reign they want to have. And so to see her kind of flip, I don't know, but I really, really liked it.
I think it's because that's her son and she can kind of control him. But at the same time, the reason why she's being hard on Mary is because she's been there. And you know what? If nothing else, she hopes that something like that can happen. But at the same time, if you toughen up Mary, she won't get her heart broken.
Yeah, Catherine said, she's like, I walked this road first. Like, you should listen to me, because Mary just rolls her eyes at Catherine because she knows what Mary's going through better than anybody.
Exactly. She's got the experience. She just did this whole thing. But also, I think she's always had an eye for the greater good. And she also sees this problem being nothing but future problems. I mean, if they're not communicating and they're thinking different things, Mary's just going to go off on a tangent and create a whole much more chaos. So I think that she's sort of stopping it before it starts and saying, it is taking more heart, which is great to see. Catherine actually has a heart, but it's also to keep things together. She's a great facilitator, even.
And this, she also had that line, France is a three-legged stool. You have to balance every single one.
Right.
Otherwise, if one falls, everything falls. And so that's what she's doing. As much as she's, poking at Mary, she's also poking at Francis. And we found out she cares about the commoners.
She does. She absolutely cares about
as
the
a
commoners.
whole, not individually.
No, exactly. I mean, she's so political. She plays the game better than anyone, I think. And she knows that even people that she doesn't like the peasants, individually she's not a fan, which she admitted. But as a whole, she realizes it's a necessary part of where she is and the whole cycle of things.
Absolutely. So at the very beginning of this episode, obviously Mary and Catherine their carriage gets ambushed. They get lost in the woods. They walk around. They find this tavern. I just love that interaction with that guard. And Catherine thinks she's gonna go in and just handle this situation, and she very quickly gets shut down. And Mary kind of has to kind of help her out, and she creates the mother-daughter thing. And then Catherine would be a great improver. Like, that woman is like a yes and pro. She's like, yeah, yes and. Huh?
Really? Catherine?
Catherine!
Okay.
Great improver. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
What, she was going along with Mary like it was her job.
Well, yeah, after the first.
Yeah,
kind of
well, I know.
mishap.
Well, Catherine always has to have the first
Yeah, but
say.
she had her letdowns of like, what? We're gonna work? No.
Yeah,
So she had her moments of that was a no moment.
No, it was so funny to
But
see
she
those.
kept moving it on of like, my foot just so hurt. My daughter will have to do the work for both of us. Like, she's so great. I
Yeah,
love
she did
Catherine.
like the bare minimum of role play to like make it, but I'm still not gonna do the work.
And
No,
she was very ravenous.
She
Like,
was.
she was
And
all
was
over
this.
that effing
Chicken?
chicken.
I think it's chicken.
Bill just gave me a dirty look.
But part of the reason why I like tonight's episode is you forget that we know these people so well, and yeah, Francis is Francis, Mary is Mary, but in the world of the commoners, there's no picture or Instagram to go around. There's no tweet like, "Hey, King Francis and Mary selfie time." You have to. Yeah, I mean, I imagine maybe why paintings got made, but they took a long time. Like, if I was a king,
Plus, you
I'm trying
can't
to
like
think.
circulate that. There's no like TMZ
Yeah, there's no
website where you can
fast
see like, oh, there's a
circulation
new
of
painting of
anything.
Francis and his beard. Like, it's impossible for anyone to know what they looked like. There's no circulation of news other than like a scroll that gets passed via hand.
And it could be which is why it was I like that side of it, learning about the commoners, and I think it's gonna come back into play in some way, shape, or form beyond just the Elizabeth storyline.
right.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot from the commoners today. Like, not only Mary and Catherine being completely immersed with them, but even like with Francis running in, Francis and his kind of party of searchers running into that woman on the road. And then we also saw that cut of the imposters kind of burning those other commoners' land. So I mean, they're playing up the commoners a lot because, obviously we had the plague that has kind of decimated the entire France in general. The food, everything, the commoners are starving. So it's kind of interesting now, like, hello, people, like, see where everybody's coming from and why there might be uprisings. And I had no idea that the imposter thing was a thing. I mean, it makes sense, but I would have never thought, like, that was an issue back then.
Right, I love those.
It's
I mean,
so
I
smart.
that had to happen, and
Oh, it had
stuff
to.
like that. The historical accuracy, as we were discussing earlier, of the show is
documentary
great.
style.
Yeah, exactly. The docu-style shooting that they do. It's cool that they mix that in. Like, all these problems relate very much to, or can relate to, things now. Like politics, it's very similar how everything does work. But at the same time, it's so far back in the past, they do have these reminders of the setting. And it's cool that it's something that is so different to really make it.
And again, it was just beyond the point of, it's just imposters. It also, as you were saying, it has that political inclination that it's coming from England. It's not just a bunch of people that decided this was good.
Right.
Like everything. It
Yeah, it's not
comes from the
just from-
courts. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's
that's
not just
the
from
interesting.
money.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, one more point
do
about
it,
that.
do it, JB,
It
go.
was just so surprising how fast that actor who's playing the fake Francis, abused his power. He went from basically, because he was hired from France for this whole other ruse.
He was hired by England.
England, yes. Sorry, for to take down France. That he was abusing his power with those peasants. He burned their house down because they didn't give the attractive daughter.
I wouldn't say it was abusing his power. I would say that's what England told them to do. Their job, not only to steal money from these commoners, is to put a bad taste in their mouth for the royals, for their leaders, so that they will not support Mary and Francis claiming England as their own.
Right, I think he just got a little carried away, a little overzealous, where it went from taking people's money and giving a bad image to, you didn't give me your firstborn daughter, so I'm burning your house down.
I mean, to JB's point, it's very easy when you basically have a free play, meaning you can do something, you can do anything, and it's in the name of somebody else. You can do anything you want because it's not you. Hey, I didn't do it. And so you're having all the fun without any of the responsibility.
I feel like it's like trolls on the internet nowadays. The people will be so mean on the internet and leave such mean comments. You guys don't, because most of our fans are really, really, really awesome.
Yeah,
they're not
you.
negative.
Cheers to the fans.
You know who you are. Yes, we love our fans. But yeah, it's interesting that that it's almost like human nature to kind of be able to hide, create destruction as long as you have some other mask to hide behind. And is it human nature, or is it just different people and how they're raised? I don't know.
I think a part of us would like to do that. I mean, if we got a get out of jail free card, why not?
You want to burn somebody's house now?
Well, no, I don't think. Again, that's why I brought it up. I think he goes a little too far. I don't think I would.
I'd like to be
destroy
pampered.
a family because they didn't give me their first child virgin slave.
I think,
but at the same time, I think if you were acting this role
JB wanted it consensual.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
No?
I was saying it's too far.
We're about to
people,
cross
too
the
far.
line. We're about to cross the line.
But no, I think if you were giving in that role where it's anything goes, you are playing king, where you can do anything, you are above the law, I think most people would kind of push the boundaries. If you were above the law, it's take anything. Why not? There's no rules anymore.
And just go back to the episode's called Three Queens. So the third queen is obviously
Jenny,
the poor girl that eventually gets hacked to death.
Spoiler alert, she dies.
Not a spoiler to happen.
I was so sad. I was yelling at the TV. I was like, no, she wanted to be a lady. Lady's maid.
And that's the point, right? So in terms of him, here's a guy who's had nothing in his life, and now he gets to be, quote unquote, the king. And you have this girl who's aspired to be a lady, and now she's a queen. That's just
right. I mean, it's the same thing we saw with the Queen of the Bean.
Oh
yeah. Nice.
Bring that back, circle.
She was crazy though. That chick was nuts. And then Henry had to go on his crazy raid and try to keep her around. That was a mess. That was an absolute mess. I'm so glad that Queen of the Bean. I loved when Catherine finally got back at her. Oh, it was so good.
What did you guys think of speaking of Catherine taking the crown off poor Jenny?
I mean, I was not surprised.
Well, and she said
she's not going to
herself,
leave it there just because
you never
she's
let
dead.
somebody take your crown.
Dust that crown off.
I mean, she did have that moment where she says, oh, poor girl. And I don't think she was playing for anybody. It was a genuine moment. But
I think as much as she's trying to teach Mary lessons, I think she's learning from Mary, and I think her relationship with Mary grows, I think she's growing and she's kind of changing as an individual and kind of learning to become not Queen Catherine, but kind of the old, because she's not the queen anymore, but just Catherine again without Henry, and not in full power, but still finding ways to keep her hand in kind of the honeypot with control over Francis and Mary. So I don't know, and I like seeing this character growth of Catherine. It's new. It's not I mean, we all love the crazy, manipulative Catherine, but it's cool to kind of see another side of her this season.
Good point. I mean, I think she got so used to living in the role that she did have for so many years, being queen and sort of the head of everything. Now that she's got to adapt to a new role and a new sort of hierarchy in the whole system, she does have to learn a thing or two. She got so comfortable in having ultimate power. Now that she doesn't, she sort of has to play a different set of cards.
Absolutely. I mean, Catherine thinks that these. So when the imposters are there, Catherine is like, these people are smart. They know what they're doing. Like, we better not say anything. Let's just keep our heads down. And Mary all of a sudden stands up for the queen, actually, about the whole, what is it, the goat's milk or
Ass's
cow,
milk.
ass's milk pond that the ladies bathe in.
And everyone turns away because.
Yeah, everyone turns away, but then Mary kind of stands up for her, which then gains Jenny's trust, and thus allows them to kind of start that conversation, which their plan was going well at first, until Roger comes back into the room and is like, oh, crap.
Stupid Roger. Although, just on a side note, it wouldn't be too far-fetched for the Ass's Milk Pond because of the last pond scene we got with Greer, Kenna, and Lola.
I mean, I don't know why you would clean yourself in donkey's milk, but whatever.
It's for their, what did they say? It
Could
was
be good for the skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. If you've bathed in ass's milk,
Yeah, please
let
write
us
in.
know. Write in. So anyway, they're up in the room with Jenny. Roger comes in. They're all like, crap, we're screwed. Roger kicks him out. We hear him beat Jenny up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, dun-da-da-da, Armisen Gifford comes to the rescue, who is one of the king's guards. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. He's one of the king's guards, and
Because after they
split up.
which was never a good idea.
why, Francis? You don't split up.
Especially
Yeah.
after you know, like, oh, they made note that there's something about enough guards and them being ruthless. So if you know that these imposters are ruthless and they're willing to burn villages and kill a lot of people, don't split up.
Right, but now that we know that he was sort of behind everything, if they didn't split up, he would have probably never led them to where they're staying. Because he is sort of behind the scenes, like, controlling this whole thing. He obviously wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I know exactly where they are, let's go save them, when
This is
literally
true.
he wants to lead them exactly the
This
opposite
is
direction.
true.
This is true. This is true. I don't know, but that kind of really took me by surprise. I did not see that coming. That made this kind of fun little cheeky episode me almost all of a sudden go, oh crap. Like, wait, this isn't just fun. They're not all gonna go back to the castle with Jenny and being all happy. No, this is serious. This is real life. This is a documentary. And people will die. In Reign the documentary. Did you guys see that coming?
Oh.
Who, Gifford dying?
Not Gifford
Or-
dying.
No,
but-
just in general.
In general, the
turn.
whole setup, I did not. I didn't think it was that deep. I like that it was, though, because it made this episode mean something more. I
Yeah.
think it's playing a part kind of globally in the season now, instead
Shout out
of just
to the
like a
Reign
side.
writers, because this was a really fun like, it was not only fun, but it was really just good episode, I felt like.
Yeah, it was fun and it meant something. I think it foreshadowed maybe more of a interaction between
Mary and Elizabeth.
Yeah, Mary and Elizabeth, exactly.
Well,
So,
what about Francis and Mary?
yes.
Has she forgiven him?
'Cause
You said there was a
Francis-
look.
Well, this is the thing. Francis
Ooh.
rides up on his noble steed with his bros. Right after they were able to, Mary kind of makes this horse jump and squish what's his name's face, Gifford's face. Poor Jenny died. Catherine takes the crown back. Francis and Mary embrace. They go back to the castle. Catherine gives kind of Francis the frickin' pep talk, like, dude, it's your wife. You know, go be with her.
Great moment, not
Great
to be
moment.
overlooked.
No, I think I already said this, but
Yeah,
it
we talked
reminded
about
me
it.
of the moment when she asked Francis, like, hey, what kind of king do you want to be? And I love when I love when parents don't tell their children how to act, but they kind of open a door for them and are like, here, you should maybe go down that way, but they
Yes,
still give
the
them
old
the
show,
choice.
not tell.
They still give them the choice,
That's it.
which I felt like Catherine, even in the speech, she was a little bit more direct with him. It was still Francis's choice,
Right.
and he was like, no, you're right, Mom.
Keaton, you could be either a lady of the night with those cat ears, or you could be a lady.
I'm a
Well
lady with these
respected.
cat ears. where are you going with this?
I'm just saying you can have one door, you can have another.
I'm not gonna be. I'm well respected. I'm here at AfterBuzz tonight talking about this documentary, Reign.
Well, yeah, I did like how Catherine sort of told him why. She was like, "You are pushing him away. Like whatever it is, I don't care. It's going to cause problems though, because she's just if she doesn't feel the trust, like." She gave him all the knowledge to make the right decision, and wasn't telling him to be like acting a certain way. It was just saying what's going to happen, which is true.
But the greater issue is still that yes, he told her about the truth of all that, but he also made a decision to basically go with the royals, and in this particular case, the Catholics against the Protestants. So even though they can resolve their issue of like her not having a baby and what he said, he still has to be beholden to Narcisse for the most part because of this blackmail.
Right.
Yes.
So he's going
And
to
he's-
make decisions that
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
make her happy.
But I agree with Francis not telling her, because he, like, by telling her, he puts her in so much danger. Like, then she can be held like in contempt and in for being involved in the killing of the king, you know. So How
about this though? If it is to come out, she will be by his side. She will automatically say, "Yes, I was involved," because that's
You're
what she's
right.
going to do.
We all know Mary.
And so why not just at least not have, for the time being, an unhappy marriage and just be truthful from the get-go?
If I was Francis, I would frickin' tell my mama Catherine, because she is so manipulative. She'll find a way to get rid of Narcisse. She would figure it out. I honestly think she would. And Catherine would never do anything to hurt Francis. So I think if she tells anybody, it should be Catherine, and I hope that happens, because
Okay, so this is kind of half prediction, but it's going there already in this
Of course,
episode
of
anyway, is the Lola Narcisse situation, and Lola's teetering that line of, do I like him? Do I not trust him?
oh, I feel you, Lola.
And she says a great line, he's believable.
Yes.
It doesn't, I don't know, that shouldn't be a great adjective for anybody. Unless you're an actor playing a scene, that's not a good adjective.
Yeah.
Right. I think Lola...
I would agree with you, Phil.
she's such a smart character. She's always been sort of the smart one of the group. For her to really let her guard down and be actually with Narcisse, I don't know. I find it tough to see a future where they're together. You know, in a
Is that out of
constructive way.
convenience? Because she got the dowry.
Right. No, I think she is sort of seeing where it goes and seeing how she like that's obviously a win for her. She hasn't put in anything. She pulled that sort of trick with the maid. She outsmarted what he was trying to do and got what she wanted. You know, I think she's going to continue that. Maybe she'll get a little closer, but I don't think she'll really let her guard down completely and, you know, pursue a legit relationship with him.
I'm taking dating lists from Narcisse, by the way.
He's smooth.
I'm telling
He's
you,
pulling out
like,
the moves.
I hated Narcisse. Hated him when I left you guys like a month ago. Now when I watch him, I get like all hot and bothered, almost like I did with Henry last season. Like, Henry, like King Henry left me and Fania like, woo. Narcisse is starting to do that to me, ladies, and I can see Lola's intrigue. Not even without the frickin' butterfly like birthmark. I feel it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about him.
Well, it's lines like the hand is not important. It's the eye. You have to look. You have to see it.
And then what was the line that,
Yeah, the
that
beginning
she,
is
she responds back to him? It was like something
The beginning is always promising. The trick is to keep it that way.
to keep it guing. Which I
That's good
loved.
stuff.
I love that they bookended that with
Because
when Lola,
it also reminds us of Francis and Mary.
yeah,
The beginning
absolutely.
is promising.
Yes, very
We
true.
have to keep. It just speaks to so many different things, and I
So good. The writers are so good. They weave everything together. It's like Crash.
I am going to try these dating methods. I will let you know. I'm going to write a book,
Yeah,
The Narcisse
after the castle
Guide
corner,
to-
we'll have the Phil corner, the update.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's
It's brilliant.
I want
The
Narcisse to come
Narcisse
visit
lines.
us. Narcisse, can you come visit us in studio, please?
Here's the problem: with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay,
I have
Uncle
to.
Ben.
No, I have to use this power for good. I feel like it's almost too easy at this point.
Did we miss anything? What else? Can we talk about the hug at the end with Mary and Francis? We kind of jumped into Narcisse and Lola, because I still think that hug. There was a look on Mary's face that told me she was like just doing her wifely duty. It did not seem genuine, that hug.
Well, yeah, I mean, he still hasn't told her anything. He was just like, yeah, pressure's rough being king. But she knew that something huge was hanging over him, and that's why he acted that way.
So do you think the look is her being like, I guess I'm going to have to do what Catherine did? Like, I guess that's the way I need to live my life? Or is the look of, I'm going to get this out of him?
Well, no, I think that nothing he said really reassured her into... I mean, Catherine made it very clear, like, romance dies, like, quickly. So you just have to get over that. And she sort of was feeling when it didn't go in a warm and fuzzy way that, like, Catherine was right. Like, it is really starting to simmer off.
Then I also think, she's like, okay, this is great, but now it's going to take a little bit, and I'm going to need to see evidence that, you can be trusted again.
Yeah, I agree.
The beginning is always promising. The trick is to keep it going.
Speaking of that,
What a great line.
I loved the scene where Narcisse and Lola are having tea, and he teaches Lola how to do the bow and arrow. And it was so funny because she's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And it's like, girl, you were in Narnia. You know that stuff. Like, come on. And then immediately she just pulls it back. She's like, looks like freaking Legolas. Like, I'm like, come on. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yes, clearly held a bow before.
Absolutely.
And nailed it. Bullseye.
I know.
First time.
That's a great date idea. Tea and a little bow and arrow practice, Phil.
Forget all the other circles. Focus on just that. Like, it's so... God.
So much sexual tension. I feel like it's in like modern day rom-coms when they like go playing putt-putt or something, and like the guy comes behind the girl to help
that's
her
lame.
like line up the shot. I know, that's what I'm saying. Reign is like the best because, come on, step it up, gentlemen. Take her to a shooting range or bow and
You know
arrow
what?
range.
But here's the thing. You know what, ladies? I got a complaint.
Oh,
the
God.
modern day lady
Oh,
hates
God.
like
let's go.
meadows and picnics. I'm like, what is wrong with
Really?
you?
Whoa. Is that true?
I don't know. I
Can you
I
speak for
love
the
the
modern
meadows
day?
and the picnics.
I think if I took my my date to an archery range, she would think I'm a dork.
No, I would think it was so cool. Oh my God, that'd be like the coolest date ever.
I'm going to take Sean, his side on this. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, no, here's
That
the
girl,
ladies,
that
tweet
girl
out if
is
you would
lame
like
then.
a
That
date
girl
like
is
that.
lame and you should move on.
Okay, no,
That's
it's
such a cool experience.
okay. You guys are like Kenna and Lola. You guys don't know what you want. You read these snuff books and you want it, but like Lola, you guys, and you go for the wrong man. Narcisse is smooth as butter, but he's a bad man.
But Lola knows how to play him. I mean, we see that scene where I was like, oh no, Lola, why are you getting naked in the tub? Narcisse is out there. And then we very quickly see that she actually paid her maid actually to bathe. And she kind of, I honestly think she wins Narcisse's respect. I think, and we see a little flirtation back. She grabs his hand and you're just like, is Lola now playing him or is Lola falling for him?
No, I think
that's what I want to know.
I think again, going back to the archery thing, the hand is not important, and so it's like a magic card game. Like it's the sleight of the hand. It's the distraction.
Yeah,
all this.
it's what your eyes on, and it's sort of what they both want, and they kind of put their cards on the table, and they said what they both want is the money and the power to do what they want.
That's right. You know what I want?
What do you want? Do you want some Castle Corner?
Keaton's Castle Corner.
Yeah,
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You
let's
you
do
guys
it
have
in the
enjoyed
castle.
this. I'm running out of castles, but thankfully Keaton's been to more than I.
I have been to many a castle. And today, in honor of the Queen Elizabeth and the English soldiers failing at what they tried to do to Mary and Queen Catherine tonight, we're going to talk about Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle is awesome. It's actually where the Queen resides when she's not in Buckingham Palace.
Fancy.
Most of the time.
So it's still active.
Yes, it's the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world, an official residence of Her Majesty the Queen. Let's see, highlights include the state apartments, St. George's Chapel, which is the burial place of 10 monarchs, Queen Mary's dolls, which I've seen, and they're creepy. The drawings gallery, which is really cool because you can actually see some Leonardo da Vinci sketches, and you see a lot of
awesome.
yeah, it's so cool. Windsor Castle. When I used to live in England, it was my favorite place to bring people. It's just a short train ride outside of London. Or drive. You could even drive there. But it was my favorite place to bring people because it's literally, you're just driving kind of down the highway and all of a sudden there's just giant fortress of a castle and you're just like, what? And it's huge and there's an entire town of Windsor is built around it. And it's this round castle and it even has kind of like the remnants of the moat that you can still see.
Ass's milk.
Ass's milk, obviously. And, it's just stunning. I mean, you can tour the entire thing when the Queen is not there, and I think even parts of it when she is there. And, I mean, the Great Hall is gorgeous. They have all, like, the knight's shields in this one huge room. And it actually, there's a huge fire there a little while, like, in recent years that they had to rebuild a ton of it.
Here's the number one question.
What's the number one question?
How much, especially in Europe, how much damage did it suffer during the World Wars? If at all.
Not as much as like London did because it's pretty far outside of London.
Most of the castles that I've visited always suffer from
the most of the damage actually happened when this fire went through it.
Yeah.
And I believe was it in 89? I'm just trying to see. I don't know. Anyways, if you have a chance, check out Windsor Castle. I will tweet out a picture of when I was at Windsor Castle. With
must be 17-year-old to just see this photo.
No, what? No, it was me when I went on a Euro trip with a bunch of my sorority sisters. So
Exactly.
Must be 17 years
Exactly.
older to see.
That's what we were saying. Wait, since it's inhabited today,
Yeah.
has it been modernized at all?
No. I mean, some parts and stuff, but not like in the way that you would think. Like houses are usually modernized. At least the places that I've seen and that the public can access and go visit. It's so cool. If you go to London, make sure to make a trip to Windsor Castle. The town itself that's built around it is such a cute town too to walk around. And Eton College, which is actually where both the princes went to school, is just across the river. So you can go to Windsor and then you can go see Eton College, which is where Prince Harry and Prince William both went. But yeah, that's all I got for Castle Corner today. Is that enough, Phil? Is that good enough? I mean, I'm kind of taking over from you, and I have a lot to live up to.
I'll take over every now and then.
You know what I do want to do? I want to get a song for Castle Corner. So if you guys have any suggestions of songs that we could play when we're getting ready for Castle Corner,
King
then
in the
tweet it
castle.
out.
King in the castle.
Hashtag Castle Corner, and tweet at us and let us know, and we'll pick one and we'll play it next week.
Yeah.
And if we get a lot of good ones, then we'll play a new one every week. So, yeah. Predictions, guys? You ready?
Heck yeah.
Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So it looks like everything's kind of coming at us in both ways. We got Narcisse and we got the English, and they're ever more approaching.
Oh,
I'm
Just
just
a statement.
I'm just stating where we are.
he's setting the scene.
Yes, no, I agree. I think it's gonna all come to a point, and I don't think Mary's gonna really find, or Catherine's gonna find out what's troubling Francis until it all sort of comes to a head, and it's all gonna happen at the worst time, which is like when the English invade and Narcisse is like blackmailing him the most, and I think that's when they're gonna resolve it.
I think Kenna's gonna get away. I mean, we saw kind of the dramatic preview for next week, at least the American preview. I still got to look at the Canadian one because they always give us more in the Canadian one. Thank you, Canada. They kind of set it up like Narcisse catches Lola in like this act or this horrible thing she's doing for Francis, but I don't think she's gonna get caught. I think she's gonna
talk her way out of it.
I think she's gonna talk her way out of it, and I honestly think that she's almost gonna be able to save Frances from Narcisse, and I think that's gonna make Frances kind of not in debt, but admire her, and like, you know, it's gonna connect her even more to him, which is gonna kind of split that thing with Mary a little bit. It's gonna cause drama. The love triangle is gonna come back.
But I think it will hurt Lola in the end because she is finding him to be intriguing, if nothing else, for that rebellious side. You know, and that's what he keeps pointing to. You know, you are a woman that wants freedom, and obviously women can't really have freedom. Blah blah.
I think Lola's too smart. I honestly think she's now playing the game with him, and I think she will win. Like I don't think I think she's thinking like a bunch of steps, and I don't think Narcisse is giving her enough credit. So I think he's gonna undermine her, and she's gonna get him.
I also think
Get him.
as playful as tonight was by Lola, it's also just a showcase of how clever she can actually be.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? A man like that, he can wise up pretty fast.
He can.
And you know, when the writers give us a fun episode like this one, next week is going to be like, drama, drama, drama. Oh my God. Ah! Like,
Wait,
I'm going
what's
to
it
be
gonna
like,
be like?
ah!
I mean, we got what, 3 deaths tonight?
We did. We got the
Usually
deaths,
we get
some
a lot
killing,
more than
some
that.
shanking.
So,
Yeah, no, I think Will is gonna almost get in too deep, but she's so smart. I think she's gonna get out of it some way where she's not ruined forever. You know, I think she's doesn't have a lot besides the first royal baby, kind of semi-royal baby. You know, she doesn't have a lot to lose. Like, she knows that finding a legitimate husband is probably not going to happen, so why not explore a little fun with Narcisse and
Why
sort
not
of
be a
see where it
Kenna?
goes.
Be a Kenna. Get some action, girl. I feel you. Narcisse is
could
hot.
she marry him, kill him, get the dowry, save everybody?
She's already
She
getting
could.
a dowry. She could.
That's
And I hope
definitely
she
a
does.
win. Yeah. That'd be an ultimate
Like a
win.
boss, Lola will do it. Do you know who I missed this episode, though? We didn't see Greer.
We didn't.
We did not see Greer.
She's
She's
doing
on
happy
honeymoon.
things.
You know
On
what,
honeymoon
though?
with Castleroy.
Castleroy's going to die. This is a prediction.
What?
Whoa,
Get out of here. All right,
what?
Sean, mute her mic. Thank you guys for
No,
listening.
no,
We'll be back
Castleroy,
next week. Fania will take Keaton's place,
no,
yes?
No. I love Castleroy, and I love their wedding, and it was very sweet that she kind of was like, I'm going to stand beside you and your Protestant beliefs and whatever you want, whatever. But obviously we all know Lath and her are meant to be together. Thus,
I don't know.
Castleroy's going to
I don't
die.
know.
Castleroy's going to die. Either... I think he will die by the end mid-season finale. I think he will.
Wonderful. Thank you, Keaton,
Done.
for your thoughts.
I love
and your-
Castleroy, and he's really cute. I really like him. I'm just saying.
But you want him dead. Great.
I don't want him dead. I'm just saying the writers will kill him off.
Blame
Not
it on the
me.
writers.
Not
yeah,
me.
seriously.
It's a documentary.
Yeah. Castleroy lives.
All right.
Look up at history. So where can we find you guys until next week?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JB_Zimmerman.
And you can follow us here at AfterBuzz TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Keetin Marchi.
And what is it, Fania Thomas?
Oh, and find Fania at Fania Thomas, I think. And remember, hashtag Castle Corner. Oh, and hashtag Get Keatin on Reign. That was something I did last year all the time. I'm going to continue it this season because I really want to, even just put me in the corner. I will just sit there and not say anything. I just want to be on that show. It's so great. You guys would too. Hashtag Get all of us on Reign.
I'd party in court. Totally.
Right? All right. There we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you
What a way to end it.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.